Hello, I'm your host, Leonard Duncan. Welcome to a new episode of ATV-TALK and Motorsports Podcast. Please join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We bring you interviews with industry professionals, live events, live news about the motorsports industry in every episode. Enjoy the show. Whether we are out riding with our friends and family or racing in extreme environments, we all need good tires. That's why I recommend GBC Power Sports Tires, a division of Greenball Corp. Their products, which include XC Master, Mini Master, and Groundbuster 3, are what leading professionals in the ATV-UTV industry are using. You can get your tires at greenballtires.com or find them on Instagram as GBC Tires for further inquiries. Andrea Berger, welcome to ATV Talk. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. It's been a little while.
Yes, it has been, but I don't know. We have a long off season, so not a whole lot going on around here.
Is it cold weather up there?
It's starting to break. Probably 2 weeks ago it was pretty damn chilly. But last week we got about 4 inches of snow on Thursday night, and then then this weekend we got snow be a little bit, but other than that, it's like it was 45 degrees out today, and I was pretty happy about it.
So me whining about 45 today is a bad thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just skip that part, because I'm crying like a little girl because it's too cold for me.
Gosh, no, I'm pretty sure there's a couple people wearing shorts outside today. So,
well, I'm wearing shorts too, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, I wear shorts every day, so we're having a uncharacteristical storm. They said it was going to, sprinkle basically, and it freaking unloaded on us yesterday.
Huh. I know what was Christmas time or something like that. You guys had a lot of rain.
Yeah, it's not normal. I live in Southern California because it doesn't rain. I mean, come on. But that's neither here nor there. So I have seen some information and I've already spoken to you about this, but I want a little bit more detail on this large event that's coming in your life.
Oh, so a month ago, actually tomorrow, Keaton popped the big question. And we are getting married October 14th. Up by where my parents live or where I'm from, and I don't know. I'm all excited. It's fun.
That's awesome. Big wedding, small wedding?
Well, we were hoping for a medium-sized wedding, but we found out there's a lot of people that we both know, and a lot of people on both sides of our family. So it's probably gonna be a big wedding. I wouldn't say hopefully no more than like 400.
Whoa.
For 250.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. I love it. Our middle daughter is getting married. And it's probably not going to happen until next year, but they were trying to do it this November.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's doable if you put.
I agree. I'm not the one that said put it off. I'm the one that said let's do this, and daughter and mom talk, and it's not really a dad thing. So I just do what I'm told when I'm told. So
yeah, as long as you're there, walk her down the aisle, you'll be okay.
Yeah, just as long as I show up, right?
Yep.
Don't plan anything for this weekend. But I was no, you're gonna be here. Okay, I'll be there. When the oldest got married, Juliana, it was I know we're supposed to be talking about ATVs, but when the oldest got married, she pretty much
put her foot down and said, Dad, you will not be traveling before the wedding, period.
Like how far out?
She made me like a month.
Okay. Why a month?
Just to make sure that I was home.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Long story short, most of her life I missed her birthday because I was at a race.
Mm-hmm.
And when her oldest son was born, the big worry is that her due date was right before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
or right after Christmas, and I was leaving to go to South America for the Dakar Rally, on like the 27th. So she was panicking that I wasn't going to be there for Ethan when he was born, and it turns out he was born a couple weeks early, and I was there. So,
well, yeah, I guess I would be all worried too if I was her. Yikes.
Yeah, Dad's always somewhere else when he's supposed to have been home. So, as you well know, I don't travel near as much as I used to, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm excited for you guys. I think that's pretty amazing stuff. And a wedding that large, that's just wow. That's great. How's your mom handling that?
She is very excited. She probably more excited than I am. Instance, I went snowmobiling on Saturday and she went to a wedding show. No, so my priorities are compared to my mom's, but it'll be okay.
Hey, you know what? Keep doing what you got to do to make yourself happy and everything like that. But let's get into ATVs a little bit here, because that's kind of why we talked about, or that's what we're supposed to be talking about anyways. 2023 is rolling up really quick. And the last time that we had talked, you were in limbo of as far as what kind of machine that you were going to build. If you didn't know, you were thinking maybe a hybrid or a Yamaha 450 in the OEM version. Did you ever come up with a plan?
Yep. So we're keeping everything OEM, no bike motor or anything like that. Our friend Gage actually ended up biting the bullet, and he's going to be the first one out of our group of friends to build one. But Keaton's been a pretty big part of the process, I would say, on his side. And I think I'm glad I went the route I went with. Just keeping it not stock, but OEM 4-foot or 4-wheeler.
Yeah, the platform is still the 450. You look at some of your past champions in the Pro-Am where they have to race against hybrids, and the OEMs have still won.
They have been. And maybe not. Salinas didn't get an overall for last year, but shoot, it's hard to say. His riding ability is right up there. I mean, I think his ability outrides a hybrid or what Molander was on.
Yeah, and Molander's going to a Suzuki and going into the pro class.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he does. I'm curious how a Suzuki's going to be on the track.
Well, we can get off on it. I didn't catch it when I first talked to him about some of the changes they make. I'm very interested to see how it works, because they go to a CRF pump and they're using the KTM injector body like they do in the Yamahas. So I'm really interested to see how that works and how that combination does on the track as well.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. I think Suzuki's were known for their pumps going out, right?
Kind of, yes. I have a couple of them in my shop right now with pump issues.
Yeah, there's like a mechanism or something that goes out within them. I can't remember off the top of my head. Keaton would be better at knowing that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of the stuff on the OEM Suzuki, some of the sensors and some of the things weren't up to par. I mean, Suzuki could have bought a little bit better quality part, and then there wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, Suzuki's not Honda or Yamaha. I mean, come on. The quality just is not the same. Anybody that's mad at me, sorry. It's I work on them for a living, and they're just not the same quality, you know.
I think it was at this point, it's just old technology too. I mean, nothing updated, and they haven't been making anything.
Well, no, they haven't made it since 2009. But you look at your Yamaha. Yes, it's new, but it's the same thing as it was in 09.
Fair enough, I guess. Sorry, my bad.
But it's not old technology. It's brand new parts. You know, okay. That's the bonus for those guys, is they get to buy brand new parts, where the Suzuki's, if you're lucky, you're finding some new frames or new engine cases, which I believe you can still buy most of that stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you should be. There's might be expensive.
What isn't expensive? You know? Have you been to the gas station lately?
Yes, I have been. Hey, speaking of which, what's your gas prices out there?
In the low 4s.
Okay, all right. We're in like 330s right now in Iowa.
We were 330 the day the clown got sworn into office.
Ooh, that's still pretty high.
Well, for us, that was low. You know.
Yeah.
I know. Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
Rubbing
Please.
it in.
Yeah, thanks. You know, well, we have to pay the weather tax.
Yeah, that's because you borrow everyone else's water. And
well, yeah, you're rubbing it in again.
I don't understand why people live in California. It's just like, I don't get it.
You know, years back I could have argued with you. I don't have an argument for you, because I was just born and raised here, and that's why I'm still here. But if I had my druthers, I would be finding a different state to live in. My son really likes Tennessee. I like Tennessee. I'm just not sure if Mama likes Tennessee.
Tennessee would be a shock especially if you didn't like it. Shock.
Yeah, but we also are looking into spending some time in Guadalajara. So,
okay, where's that?
Mexico.
Okay, there you go.
Mainland Mexico, and that's where my wife's from. That's her home city. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I bet. Nice weather year round then, or similar?
It has a wet season, which I've never been there during the wet season, but I'm not a foodie, but gosh, the food is so good.
As pathetic as this might sound, Keaton and I, we get Mexican about once a week. And it's not good. I mean, it's decent, but I bet if we would go somewhere legit, it'd be so much better. I'm pretty sure we could probably live off of Mexican food year round.
Well, I know we're talking about cooking and food. My wife cooks more traditional. So it's not like the border food that you get even here in San Diego. The San Diego Mexican food is awesome. You get people from that come here and eat Mexican food, and then it's nothing like they have at home, but it's really nothing like traditional Mexican food either.
I wonder how. So in other words, you're getting fed really well, and it's delicious.
Oh, you have no idea. My wife wants to know why my belly isn't getting any smaller. And it's because every time I turn around, there's something good to eat, and I am going to indulge. Sorry. Yes, I know I've eaten lunch today, and now I'm eating dinner twice. Sorry. I mean, she's an amazing cook, and she has a sweet tooth on top of that. So there's always a sweet, and if you ever get a chance to go, the caramel that comes from Guadalajara, I don't know the name of it. I am supposed to, but I don't. I've never tasted anything like it. It's so amazing. Really, it's just unbelievable. So if you ever get to go, you should. And all the stories you hear about Mexico being dangerous, don't be an arrogant American. Go there, embrace the culture, enjoy, and you will have an amazing time.
All right. So have you as a tour guide, in other words, make sure you're down there at the same time we are.
Okay, I'll just tell this story, and then we'll get back on ATVs. So we go to Tijuana, which is about 40 minutes from the house, and we go down and have dinner or lunch, or my wife goes to the doctor down there, and it's just a normal portion of our life. And we were down there a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't paying attention. I was just listening to her, and I was not doing my due diligence. I was driving, and I just wasn't paying attention. And she said, turn left. Well, I turned left, and I turned down a one-way street. I immediately corrected my error, but I corrected in front of a police officer. And if you hear the rumors about when you get pulled over, you can bribe your way out of it. Well, this man was pissed, and he wasn't letting us off that easy.
Oh my.
I got a ticket, and they impounded my truck.
That's huge. Going down a one-way?
Yes. So long story short, the next day I was down there with Daniel, my youngest son, and a good friend of mine, and they both took me to the station so that we could see the traffic judge, and he couldn't believe that I got the ticket or impounded for that. So he took a small cut. No, I wasn't. I didn't say a word.
Huh.
But my love, who was sitting next to me, did all the talking. Because she speaks Spanish. Well, right. The officer spoke English, so he was pissed probably because I didn't talk. Long story short, it cost me $120 and a day to get my truck back.
I mean, it's one way of walking off calories.
Well, yeah, it was quite the experience. I had a good friend of mine, Martine, who walked me through it. Daniel was there too. The money I gave Daniel for gas to take us home the day that we got impounded, he gave to the judge. Yeah. So the judge got the money for getting out of it versus the police officer that wrote the citation. So
yes,
don't break the rules. I mean, pay attention. I just wasn't paying attention. You get lackadaisical, and the streets aren't marked very well, and it was my fault. I knew better, but I just made a mistake.
Okay. Hey, at least you know better not to blame the wife.
No, it wasn't her fault, because she was telling me to turn left at the next street, not where I turned. Yep. So no, it wasn't her fault. And even if it wasn't her fault. Right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Have you been following anything that's going on in the industry? with some of the stuff that's going on at Decker's and them going to be having a big money race?
I know I saw it on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. I don't know exactly what's all happening down there. But it sounds like one hell of a place to be. It'd be awesome to go down there, but to see what happens. But no.
Yeah, I mean, the week after Daytona, they're having a money race. And then the next week they're having Gatorback.
Yep. I think it's perfect timing. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people down there, especially all the pros that might as well stay down there between Daytona and Gatorback, and why not spend it at Decker's?
Yeah, I can't wait to go there. I've been supposed to call Mr. Decker for weeks, and I've just been so busy with other projects that I feel bad when I do call him. I'm going to, have to have my hat in my hand, just because I just not handling my business, I guess. But I was kind of wanting to know your take on the fact that they were having that big money race, at the start of the season, in between round 1 and 2,
I don't know. So my take on it is, we'll see who shows up. Like, who's guaranteed to go. That makes sense. I don't know. I wonder who will all be there, but I think overall it'll be a really good race. I think people that have been practicing there for the entire off season. I think Hoag's been down there, Decker, of course. Be cool to see how they do literally at their home track.
I talked to Brandon, and Brandon added the out loop into his training regimen just to be ready for that race.
Huh. So when he says out loop, did he mean like the
the cross country portion?
Holy cow, that's pretty sweet. That's a long lap. Yeah,
I don't know exactly how long it's supposed to be a 30-minute moto winner, and they're paying back to 5th place, I believe.
Awesome. I wonder, do you know who the sponsors are?
I do not, and that's what I'm supposed to call him about and talk to him about, because I'm working on things behind the scenes myself with my son, trying to orchestrate some stuff, and to get his feedback on it would be outstanding, because he's actually doing it. I got to spend some time with Wes Miller out here on the West Coast when he did his invitational. Not a whole lot of details did I get. I was just there to promote the event, just same with, I was there to promote the Works event on the same weekend. But I don't get behind the scenes enough to know how all the intricacy works. So we struggle a little bit to put a package together to put on a race or to put on an event. It's a little different. So we'll wait and see how it goes. I will need to call Mr. Decker and handle my business, because I've wanted to get him on the show for a year, and we just have never connected. It partly because I'm so busy, and partly because he's busy too. So it happens.
Just hasn't been the right time yet. So the best part would be just to do it right after the race or something like that, and get his take on it, because I think a lot of people would like to know his side of things too, just in general.
Oh, I think it's an amazing deal for the racers and for the industry. That's where the invitational that they had out here on the West Coast, it's just promoting the sport. And I don't know if you see it, but I see it. There's more interest. And when there's more interest, there's better sponsors. When there's better sponsors, there's more interest.
Mm-hmm.
It goes hand in hand. And I love it, because social media is basically blowing up with ATV stuff. And maybe I'm in a biased section where I'm only looking, but I try to cover everything. It's not a motorsports podcast because I only do ATVs. I'm trying to look into other industries and see what's out there and people that are interesting. I'll have a Southern California flat track gal on in the future. She races motorcycles. She's a young lady, and she races against the men. She doesn't want to race against the ladies. She wants to race against the men.
There's a lot. I don't know. I totally get it. I get the gist.
Yeah, I mean, you do, right? You go and race and put yourself out there against the men and see how you do. And it's a measuring stick, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it's, I don't know how to describe it, but maybe it's an ego thing. You want
women have egos?
A little bit. Maybe it's pride. I don't know what you want to call it, but I don't know, it's cool to say that, hey, I beat half the guys in A class. I mean, how many ladies get to say that? And then how many guys get to say they get their ass kicked by a girl too? So
I did.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell the story, but yeah, I did. It happens. No matter how hard you fight it off, there are people that are better than you. And Angela Moore, I had stopped racing works when she came into the scene, but there's no way in hell I would ever beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Even at my best. I mean, she was just dynamite, fast, talented, strong, and a drive that, unbelievable drive. That lady was just on fire. She had zero quit in her body.
It's pretty cool to hear.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Just I don't know. Like I said, she's kind of what I looked up to, or who I looked up to when I was little, and hearing different stories from different people, not just like my dad and a couple of his friends talking about her. So it's different hearing other stories.
I have a memory of her when she was a little girl playing in the creek at Loretta's. Yeah, to being a dominant force in women's sports, and then going out west and showing the boys how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's incredible lady. I haven't talked to her in years. Love to have her on to have her talk about the days that she got to race. I mean, it would be awesome.
I haven't you like, gosh, I would love to hear her story, or just some of the stories that she has. I think it'd be awesome to do. But
I agree. It's all about timing with everybody. Free promotion is free promotion, and not everybody understands what it is. So, not to get off on a tangent, but we do a whole new platform system, and I tell this every time, and so people are probably tired of hearing it, but we decided to do something different. I would rather promote you for 7 days than have 4 or 5 different episodes in a week. Mm-hmm. So we have an audio episode, we have an Instagram live, and then we have a YouTube episode. In between there are promotions that happen. There's a carousel that happens with your photos and your stats, and that gets launched during the week as well. So we try to promote you, the racer, the individual, for that 7-day period from a Sunday to a Saturday. And so far, our numbers are up across the board because of it.
Being consistent, right?
I think people, but one of the complaints I did get was that we were producing too much.
Interesting. I thought, I guess if it was just too many topics all at once, to see that.
where people could only listen to 1 or 2 episodes a week at best. And then if they fall behind, and they could fall behind 10 episodes, 12 episodes in a big hurry, because for a while there, we were producing 4 to 5 episodes a week.
That is a lot. I mean, how we usually do it, but we always catch up usually on a weekend whenever we're or heading out to a race or something like that. And then you're always there. We're listening in. But I guess a lot that
I didn't catch that.
I guess people don't have that luxury of having hours on end traveling.
And
listen to your podcast during that time.
I appreciate everybody that does. We're getting to do some history stuff here coming up. So we're going to go back and talk to some 80s riders. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're getting to go to a reunion, and we're kind of hosting it. The person that's promoting it is having us come there, and we're going to do some live shows there while it's going on. And it's going to be a good deal. Sure. We have some other things coming up too that are they'll be dropping next month, and it's under the cuff right at the moment. But when it does, I think people will be pleasantly surprised.
Like what?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, all right. I see how
it's top secret. I'm sorry. I've been sworn to secrecy. Okay. I'll have to send them one of those guys over there to the house to snuff you out if I tell you, and I don't think you want that. You're getting married this year,
It's okay.
So have you followed the cross country stuff at all this year or last year?
A little bit here and there. Hannah, she won again. Tracy Pickens was right there though. It was a tough season. Man, I can't remember third place is that name.
Isn't it Elioff?
Yes. I think she got third overall. So the top 3, and then you have Osborne up there as well. So it was, I don't know. I keep tabs on them just to see how everyone's doing, because at some point I would like to do a little bit more cross country, but who knows when I'll get to do that.
Yeah, those ladies out there are incredible too. I mean, Hannah is a rider, man. That little girl can ride, can't she?
Yep.
Have you seen the video of her on the 250R?
Yeah, she actually raced it. I went to Ironman, and that's what she raced for that race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she can haul. It was pretty cool to see.
There again, there's another gal I wouldn't want to ride against. You're one of them too, but there's no way would I even think about it, because she just seems like she has no fear.
That's what happens when you're young.
Well, you're still young. What are you talking about?
No, I am old. I'm almost 30.
Yeah, let's compare a little. No, I don't think you're that old. So you're still a baby. You got a long way to go.
Okay, at least someone thinks that.
So have you listened to what's going on the men's side at all?
No, not really. I know Walker Fowler got second, and Bryson Neal got first.
Neal. Yep. And Walker just got hurt.
Yes, I did see that. Whatever race he went to, so he's gonna miss the first round.
Yeah, I don't know if it's first round, second round. I haven't got any details. It's pretty hush hush, really.
Must be somewhat serious. I mean, if it's that bad.
Yeah, and usually I have a pretty good chain of people that ring me and tell me what's going on, and it's crickets. you know, and it's kind of odd that it is kept so quiet.
I don't know. I guess I could look at it as don't worry your sponsors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know some of his sponsors, and I know how they'll work with him, and they're not worried about it at all, because I mean, the guy's a 7-time champion, and he's super nice. And every time I have him on the show, the numbers are outstanding. I mean, he just brings extra people with him every time. I mean, you can see it as the clicker goes, it's pretty cool. So I don't think that's an issue at all. Bryson's a whole nother story. I don't know a lot about him. I know that he came off an injury and didn't seem like it affected him at all. So he's healthy coming into a season. I'm thinking, wow, he's coming in healthy. What are we going to expect? Where last year he came in injured, or coming off the injury, rode, I think, twice before this start of the season, and bang, seemed to dominate all year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I wish there was just a better way you could capture the races, like at the GNCC races. I think I would follow online a little bit more, but I usually just look at the results whenever they come out or whenever the race is done.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about what I do, is I have to scan social media for so much information, and then reach out to people like you and other people that I know and ask questions. Hey, did you see what happened here? What was the result? And because I can't be everywhere, it costs too much money to go to travel. I mean, Briarcliff last year nearly broke me.
Oh, don't say that. Yikes.
Oh, it was expensive for me. I had a great time, and it was awesome to meet you guys face to face, and to be able to interact with everybody. But it's difficult. That's the bummer about being on the West Coast when you want to cover East Coast stuff or Midwest stuff, is the cost to go there. Same for you if you wanted to come out west. I mean,
yeah, get it. Yeah, I definitely get it.
Anything striking or newsworthy setting up for 2023 for you? Any big changes other than building maybe a new machine?
Well, so we have decided that we're gonna take not a full season break, but we're not going to go to I'm not going to Gatorback, Underground, or the Pennsylvania races. Some of that is just because of the cost. Last year kind of broke the bank for me a little bit. Definitely spent too much of what I have, I guess, and I want to put that money towards something else, like buying a legit house and just the next step of my life. But doesn't mean I'm not going to stop racing entirely. Like, you'll see me at Ironman. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be ready for it. But I'm technically taking myself out of the WMX championship for this year. But
for this year. So there's a chance that you're coming back for 2024.
There's a chance. I don't know where I sit on that quite yet. We're still building another quad. We're just taking it slower compared to building it during the off season. So it'll take a whole year instead of 3 months. Just because I do want a legit, fully built new quad. That is my goal.
Nice.
And plus, I think Loretta's last year, after crashing and totaling out my quad, it was just another expense that I was not expecting. So that hindered my bank account a little bit.
Well, I didn't catch all of the information from last year. You did have a get off. I knew that, but I didn't know that it did that much damage.
Yeah, it bent the frame, A-arm, subframe. The motor might be okay. I mean, we didn't, yeah, motor's okay. Okay, yeah, motor's okay. When we were just looking at it, it looked like one of the shocks was bent. I mean, we ended up tearing it apart and it was fine, but they need parts. I mean, it was just
Violent.
It was violent. It was heartbreaking. And it was like my gut just sank when that happened. And on top of that, I actually bruised my hip pretty bad too. Like swelled up. I could put like a little soda can on it. It was black and blue by the end of the day.
Which class did you crash in?
Production A. It was the second race, or the second race of the day. And it was only 4 motos before WMX class. So it was a tight turnaround. I ended up racing the stocker, or the stock quad Keaton and I share in the WMX class, but I still got second. Just whole shots really sucked.
Wow. I did not know it was that big of a deal. I wish I would have asked more detailed questions. That to do that much damage on that machine, were you at the fastest point of the track and you just, launched her?
No, it was the 10 Commandments, and it's not the first time this has happened. I think back in 2013, 13 or 14, did the exact same thing. I was on the outside. I doubled in. I think on the third set, I gave it too much because they were a little bit closer together. And then I was like nose diving into the third set, and I gave it gas trying to pull it up so I wouldn't flip the quad, or I don't know, like flip myself over the quad. So I gave it gas, it went up, I went up, and I fell off the back while the quad keeps on going forward, and then cartwheels through the 10 Commandments and lands on the last one.
Ugh. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And I was doing really good. I was going for a pass. Right.
Is that Keaton?
Yeah, he's in another room. He's laughing at me.
He shouldn't do that. It will come back to haunt him.
Yeah.
He heard that.
Yeah. He had his bad luck at the beginning of the season, so it was my turn.
It happens, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it other than, regroup and get it back together. I think it's advisable sometimes to take a step back, recollect yourself, refocus, and go about it a different way. It can only benefit you.
Yeah, exactly. I think too, I want to make sure whatever I end up doing, I want to make sure I have fun doing it too. Last year, I stressed out. Like, I don't know what was going on, but I couldn't wear my contacts anymore. My hair was always greasy. Like I would wash it and it'd still be greasy. It was just, I don't know how, like, stress affected me really weird, or like race stress affected me really weird.
Yeah, that's not good for you. You need to make sure that you are having a good time. And that's the most important thing. You're racing for a trophy, basically, because you're never going to make enough money. You're never going to make enough money to pay for the quad. So you need to make sure you keep it fun and enjoy it, because I don't think there's a better sport.
No, I love the sport. Don't get me wrong. Like, it like breaks my heart thinking that I'm not going to be there for like the beginning of the season. I've been working with the WMX youth program, and I was like dragging my feet on it because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, how am I supposed to disperse the goodies and talk to all the girls at the track when I'm not going to be there? But Jeremy Osborne, he's been helping out a lot, and he suggests that we're going to probably end up dispersing some of that load to the other girls, or this year should go a little bit smoother now that everyone has done it at least once. But I don't know, it's exciting but heartbreaking at the same time, knowing that I'm not going to be there.
Well, I can just tell you this: your mental health is more important than racing at any given point, and your physical health. Stress can cause physical damage as well as emotional damage, and I think that you're making the right choice. Regroup, make yourself happy, and come back to whatever form of racing it is, or whatever level you decide to race, and make it fun, and do it at the highest level, because you're an amazing competitor, and the sport needs you out there because you are a leader, and people do look up to you, and I think that having you there is super important.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll be there no matter what. I think Keaton's business will always be around or related to racing and at the track. So my life has revolved around racing since I was born. So it's not like I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be part of it.
That's awesome. We need you part of it. I really believe that in my heart. Since the day I met you, I think that you bring a light to the sport. It doesn't matter if you're going to be racing or on the sidelines. I think that you can help and direct and get people to grow the sport just because they have someone that can show them the way. So yeah. You keep, even if you're not leading every race or out there winning championships, you can guide the youth through teaching them things that you learned, and making sure that they can know how to get sponsors, or making sure that they know how to be a good fan as well as be a participant. So
yeah, heck, I don't know. I get tight. I want to say the tides have turned a little bit. Keaton and I and Gage, we ended up going to a race out in Minnesota shortly after Loretta's, and I was perfectly happy with just being on the sidelines, and I thought I would never be like that. It's just a little different compared to what I expected myself to be like.
That stress takes a toll. Let yourself heal, and I know that when you're ready to get back out on the track to do your thing, you will, and you'll do it at the highest level. So let yourself heal and make it fun.
Yeah, that's the game plan.
Yeah, I think you're going to do great. And about the youth program, you reached out to JSR, they reached out to me, and yeah, we're doing the same thing that we did last year. I think they're doing it a little better, but yeah, I'm 100% in. So
it's been, so I got to talk to both of them, and they were just a hoot to talk to. So it was really cool talking to them about the program and how their business actually works. It's pretty cool. So, but no, thank you. I really appreciate you, ATV-TALK and JSR, for helping the youth program. I think the program's going to be, I want to say, a step up compared to last year. And I mean, nothing too substantial, but it's just like all the sponsorships, kind of like what you're saying. Everyone wants to help out now that they're seeing that other people are doing it. So more people want to work out. They want to advertise their business this way. So it's really cool to see.
I think that giving back to the sport is the most important thing. I don't have a deep well to reach into to support more like I would like to. So the things that I can do, like be a part of this, that you were gracious enough to ask me, and I just really appreciate it, because I was able to give back, because it wasn't an astronomical thing. It was well within the small budget that we have. In the program at the end at Loretta's, we were able to give a little bit. I wish I could have gave more, but Tim does an amazing job with that. And the more we can give to the youth, as far as leadership and guidance, the better the sport's going to be.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I really enjoy doing that. Just teaching kids in general too. I mean, heck, I teach religious ed classes here in town, so it's something I really enjoy doing.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Teaching the youth is the most important thing, because they're the stewards of they're going to be the ones that are going to take over after we pass the torch. So if we don't teach them right, who's going to?
Mm-hmm. At least they're not going to have anything to go off of. It's going to be harder to navigate through.
Right. I think that you're making a wise decision for yourself. I congratulate you on your upcoming nuptials. Young lady, I thank you so much for your time. As always, I really enjoy speaking with you. You are a beacon in this industry, and I think that you need to stay in it and keep teaching the youth. And when you're ready to get back out on the track, we'll all be cheering and excited for you.
Yeah, it'll be a good time either way.
The team here at ATV-TALK would love your feedback. Please email us at hello@atvtalkpodcast.com. If you're in need of a consultation for your current racing program, a custom ATV, or an industry guest speaker, I have the company for you. Duncan Technologies International Inc. offers host, MC, and guest speaking services at events. Builds custom ATVs for recreational riding or racing around the world. And they offer consulting services for professional teams or individual racers. Send inquiries to duncantechinternational@gmail.com or call 619-716-1532 for more information. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to share us with your family and friends. The podcast is available on all streaming platforms, and you can find us on social media as ATV-TALK Podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter.